Hey, this is Mr. Win, and today's video will be writing linear equations. So first, you need to know the two equation forms of a line. There's slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. That's the famous one you should all know. And second is point-slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. You use each one depending on what you have. If you have the slope and the y-intercept, you use the top one. You have the slope and any point that's not the y-intercept, use the bottom one. But both require slope. So for example 1, write the equation of the line if you have the information. So A says we know a line has a slope of negative 1/4. So I know slope, or m, is negative 1/4. And it has a y-intercept of 0, negative 2. Remember the y-intercept is just b. b is negative 2. If I have m and b, so again, if I have slope and y-intercept, I'm going to use slope-intercept form. That's the equation, y equals mx plus b. I just got to fill in the information. So y equals, my slope is negative 1/4 x plus b. b is negative 2, so minus 2. And that's it. All right, b, find the equation of a line that goes through 6, negative 2, and has a slope of negative 4. I know m, the slope, is negative 4. I do not have b though. I don't have the y-intercept. I just have a random point. Just 6, negative 2. So now I have to use the other equation, other form, point-slope form. That is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. So here I just have to fill in m and y1, x1, y1. So I'm going to label 6 is x1, negative 2 is y1. So I'm just fill it in. So y doesn't change, minus y1 is negative 2 equals m is negative 4 parentheses x, we don't change, minus x1 is 6. Now I just have to do algebra. This left side, that's y minus negative 2, that's really a plus. So that's y plus 2 equals, here I need to distribute, negative 4x plus 24. And last, I'm going to get y by itself. I'm going to subtract 2 to both sides. And my final answer is y equals negative 4x plus 22. Alright, so again, if you have the slope and you have y-intercept, points, slope-intercept form, you have the slope and just a random point, do point-slope form. Alright, write the equation of line given the following information. The line passes through 2 points. So I have a point, no y-intercept, but I don't have the slope. Remember, as long as you have 2 points, you can find the slope using the slope formula. So I need to find that first. We always need the slope. So m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. I'm going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. So y2 is negative 3. Minus y1 is 7 over x2 is 3 minus x1 is negative 2. That's minus negative, that's really plus. So negative 3 minus 7, negative 10 over 5 plus 2, or 3 plus 2 is 5. That turns into negative 2. So I know my slope is negative 2. Now I just need to pick any point. It does not matter. I'm going to use this first point. I already have it labeled x1, y1. I'm going to use that. So my information I'm going to use for the line will be slope of negative 2, and my point is negative 2, 7. So the point slope form is y minus y1, point slope form, equals m parentheses x minus x1. Label and plug in x1, y1. Again, you pick any point. I just picked the first one. So y minus y1 is 7 equals m of negative 2, parentheses x, minus x1 is negative 2. That's really a plus 2. Do algebra. So y minus 7 equals, got to distribute this, negative 2x minus 4. And then add 7 both sides. So y equals negative 2x plus 3. Alright, so be able to find the slope if it's missing, and then use that slope in any point, and point slope form to find the equation. We always want it y equals because that's what we input in a calculator. All right, be able to write the equation of parallel and perpendicular lines. Remember, parallel lines have the exact same slopes. So here's a chart. If I have an original slope of 2/3 right here, the parallel slope is exactly the same. If I have a slope of -4/5, parallel slope is exactly the same. They're all equal. -8/7 and -8/7, 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 0 and 0. Perpendicular, however, have opposite reciprocal slopes. Remember, opposite reciprocal? Opposite means change the sign. If it's positive, turn it to negative. If it's negative, turn it to positive. And then reciprocal just means flipping the fraction. So my first one, if the slope is 2/3, I change the sign. Now it's negative, and I flip the fraction, 3/2. The second one, -4/5, I change the sign, make it positive, and I flip the fraction, 5/4. Third one, -8/7, turns into 7/8. Fourth one, that's 5/1. So I change the sign, make it negative, and then flip the fraction. 5/1 becomes 1/5. Same for 6, and for 0, you'll notice 0/1 turns to -1/0. When you get division by 0, that means it's undefined. It's going to be a straight up and down line. So to use it, we do this. Write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line that passes through 5, -6, and is perpendicular to the line with the equation right there. So first, we need a slope. This equation slope is -3/2 because it's mx plus b. Now that's not the slope I want. I want the slope that is perpendicular to that. So perpendicular means opposite reciprocal. So if that's the slope, my real slope, I change it to positive and I flip the fraction, 2/3. That's the slope I want to use for my line. So I have a slope of 2/3 and I have a point, 5, -6. So with the slope and with the point, I can do point slope form. Again, that is y minus y1 equals m parentheses x minus x1. Just label your points. So I'll call this x1, y1. Plug it in and do some algebra. So y minus y1 is -6 equals m of 2/3 parentheses x minus x1 is 5. This is a minus, the negative is really plus. So I have y plus 6 equals, I'm going to distribute this. That is 2/3 x minus 10/3. Then I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. So my final answer is y equals 2/3 x, and I'm going to use a calculator for this. 6/3, -18/3. That makes it -28/3. Alright, so be able to find the correct slope for your line. You might use a different line slope, but you might make it perpendicular or parallel. And then once you have that slope, you have the point slope form. Alright, I'll do this practice problem. Try it. If you can get it right, you should be fine for the quiz. And this is Mr. Wynn. Thanks for watching. See you in class.